Hi everyone, this is Mr. Carl. I hope you enjoy my lessons. All of my music lessons will always be free. I only ask that if they help you and they are a blessing to you, freely you receive, freely you give, and you be a blessing to someone else. If you need to find the printed music to go with my lessons, just go to my website, carlherod.com. Click on my name, Carl, and then click on Music Instructions. Scroll down and you'll see printable music for videos, and then that will be my music for you to print out and to go along with the video lessons online. And I hope you enjoy them, and I'm going to be printing and doing more and more all the time, so stay tuned. God bless.
Hey, this is Bugsy Baloney, and you better pay real close attention to the next part of the videos and learn the drum set well from my friend Mr. Carl, so you can play for my family's party. Forget about it. You better be real good to him. He's a friend of mine, Mr. Carl is. Anybody who rats out a friend, I make lamb chops out of them. Capiche? Oh, what's wrong with this gun? Oh, hey, what are you looking at?
Lamb chops out of them.
Hey, are you ready to play some drum set? Dude, you've come to the right place. Hey, glad to see you. Are you ready to learn? I know you are. Wonderful. Well, you love the drum set? Oh, I love the drum set. Oh, man. I used to play when I was no more than about 5. I played all the time. Just drove everybody crazy beating on them things. And I know you are ready to learn to play, aren't you? Well, sure you are. Well, if you've not had a chance yet to do so, you need to do it right now. And that is, you need to print out beginning to jam on the drum set. That will be your beginning lessons, and you need to do that right now so we can get boogie and started. Ready? All right, print it. Go on, hurry up. Do it right now. Hurry up. I'll wait. I'm waiting. Okay. You have printed out beginning to jam on the drum set, and you are ready to play. Way. All right, here we go. Let's look at number 1. Now you notice the top line. You have the little stems and they have X's on them. Well, that's referring to ride cymbal. Now, before we get started, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go over all the parts. Okay? So that refers to the ride cymbal. That's the big one over here. Yeah! Just like that. This one is a ping ride, and ooh, it's a good one. It's real expensive. Sorry. But it's a good one. I like it. That's the ride. And then the little note right underneath that, that refers to the snare drum. Aren't you glad you've been doing your pad work so now you can use it on drum set? Trust me, I've been around the block at least once or twice. This is the snare drum. Okay? And eventually you're going to use the top hat or the hi-hat. Okay? And then, of course, the bottom, you have the big bass drum. It's got the voice like a man. That's right. And over here, which we're not doing in these exercises just yet, but we will. This is the crash cymbal. Because it crashes and it drives everybody nuts, but it sure is fun to hit it. Yeah! And then here we have the high tom medium tom, and the floor tom. Now mine look kind of funky because the heads are old. So if you got new heads, I'm jealous. I'll get some eventually. It's okay. And I know some of you guys are probably wondering, what in the world has he got on his heads? Well, these are real technical things. It's called toilet paper. And what they do, and you can buy something called external mufflers. That's just a fancy word for fancy store-bought toilet paper on the outside. But basically, you put the external mufflers, you put them on top of the heads, and then when you play the heads, it kind of keeps them from ringing too much. Some people like them to ring a lot. Some people like for them to ring a little. Ring a lot, ring a little. Tomatoes, tomatoes, potatoes. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, well, I've got mine, and that idea of making them not ring so much, that's called dampening. Dampen. And so I like mine kind of dampened because I'm in a small room and I don't want them ringing all in my ears even though I'm half deaf. What? So I've got them dampened down a little bit, okay? But that's basically what you're seeing. All right? So let's go ahead and review just a little bit. All right? We've got the big one, and it's called the bass drum. Very good. Then we have this one here, and it's called the snare drum. Very good. Then we have this one. It's called the very good high tom. Hey Tom, what's happening? What's that? Then we have this one, and it's called the medium tom. Very good. Then we have this one, and it's called the floor tom. Very good. And this little guy here is called the hi-hat. Very good. And last, and certainly not least, we have the big daddy over here. And he's called the ride cymbal. Very good. And what about this little guy over here? He's called the
access denied
crash cymbal. Very good. Okay, that is the parts of the drum set. And let's go ahead and get started and playing. You ready? Okay. Number one, let's look at it. First, we're going to start out with just the cymbal, the ride cymbal over here. And it's just TTs. Try to keep the beat steady, just like that. Now we're going to add the bass drum on beats 1 and 3, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to do that for a while until you feel comfortable, and then we're going to add the snare drum. That's right. Here we go. Cymbal and bass drum, number 1. 1, 2, 3. Now, we're ready to add the snare drum on beats 2 and 4. Here we go. And you should not do this until you can do what I'm doing comfortably. Once you're able to do this 10 or 15 times without going, then you can add the snare drum. Here we go. Snare drum. Repeat. Very good. Okay. Now keep doing that and do not, I repeat, do not go on until you can do that. Keep the cymbal very steady and the bass drum on 1 and 3 steady, and then add the snare drum on 2 and 4. We're jamming, dude. Just like that. Very good. And be sure you get that down. If you can do that 10 or 15 or 20 times comfortably, you're ready for number 2. Okay, you practice number 1 and you're ready for number 2. Let's do it. Number 2, here we go. Exercise number 2. We're going to get the cymbal going. Ride cymbal, that is. Now we're going to add the bass drum on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ready? Here we go. Just the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. When you can do that comfortably, then you're going to add the snare drum on 2 and 4. 1, 2. Very good. Now, sometimes you don't have to start your pattern like I started. I prefer to start with the cymbal, add the bass drum, and then the snare drum. That may not work for you. It doesn't matter which one you start with, because eventually you're going to be able to do all of them without thinking about it. But right now, since we're new and we're learning, if it's easier to start with something else, then do that and practice that. It certainly doesn't matter to me. But I just go ahead and start out with the cymbal, then the bass drum, because I think it's easier. But let's try it a different way. How about we start with the cymbal, then the snare, then the bass drum? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And you'll notice that on exercise number 2, which beats are the snare drum and the bass drum perfectly together on? Like that. Which beats? 2 and 4. So on beats 2 and 4, 1 is going to be the bass drum, and then beat 2 is going to be the snare drum and the bass drum. So it's going to be just the bass drum first, 1, then together, 2, then the bass drum, 3, then together, 4. Let's try that again a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. I missed the snare drum because I was so busy concentrating on the bass drum. You may want to start out that way without the cymbal. Whatever works for you, it's fine. And then add the cymbal. Okay? Sometimes it's easier once you get the bass drum going to just forget about it and don't think about the bass drum since you're playing it on all 4 beats, and just concentrate on the snare drum. Whatever works for you. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Okay? We could start with just the bass drum on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then add the snare drum together with the bass drum on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then add the cymbal last. Whatever works for you. Any combination is fine.